you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. It's inspirational surroundings, and I'm not sure what the message is about the dinosaur in the middle of the room, but perhaps it's a warning to us all. It certainly doesn't do a lot to have a load of old bones for the acoustics of the occasion. But the Natural History Museum is in many ways the perfect place for the Green Awards, because the collections housed within these walls have inspired countless visitors to find out more about the natural world around us, what made it, what shaped it, and what lives in it. But even for the most enthusiastic visitor, specimens can't tell the story. Behind the scenes of this museum is the largest, most diverse snapshot of life on Earth. To see everything here would take more than a lifetime's work. It would allow 1 minute per specimen. It would take more than 130 years to view the entire collection. So we rely on the professionalism, enthusiasm, and the knowledge of the staff to bring this modern ark to life. And the displays and exhibits bring the collections into sharp focus. It makes the science accessible, immediate, irresistible. We have to do the same when it comes to climate change, because the Natural History Museum is a vast repository of what we need to cherish. The effects of climate change on our natural world will make it even more important. Recently, the Executive Secretary of the Convention on Biological Diversity said that we continue to lose biodiversity at a rate never before seen in history. Extinction rates may be up to 1,000 times higher than the historical background rate. Indeed, for the first time since the dinosaurs disappeared, humans are driving animals and plants to extinction faster than new species can evolve, one of the world's experts recently warned. Frankly, the debate on climate change sometimes infuriates me. It's a bit like inviting Aristotle and the Flat Earth Society to debate the shape of the planet in the name of balance. And it's cheating the public. For although it doesn't suit the black and white media narrative, frankly, the science is increasingly clear and increasingly alarming. And although it's always true in science that the search for certainty is misguided, we deal in probability and risk. And if any of us were told that there was a 90% chance that our homes were going to burn down, I think on balance we'd think it was sensible to invest in a little house insurance. And that's exactly what green policy, what climate change policy is all about. Now, I must confess, my background is the most dismal science of them all, economics. And yes, there is certainly some truth to the saying that economists were put on this earth to make accountants look interesting. But as an economist working on risk modelling, I soon saw just how poorly equipped we are to judge probability and risk. Tragedy only happens to other people. It never seems to happen to us. And indeed, everyone seems to buy a lottery ticket. And this woolliness about chance, about probability, extends to climate change too. For too many people, it's something intangible, far off, something for our children's children to worry about. It's unknowable, unpredictable, unpreventable. It might not even happen. And thanks to the big polluters and the realities of global politics, people argue that it's out of our hands anyway. That attitude has to change. But from international politics to public opinion, we face a central problem of persuasion. Later this week, I'm joining the UK's delegation at the UN climate change negotiations in Cancun, and we have a chance to build on the headline political commitments which were made in Copenhagen at this time last year, and we can pave the way for an ambitious agreement on climate change. The UK's position is clear. We believe a legally binding global deal is not just good for the planet, but frankly good for the people on the planet. And it's one of the things that's going to stop a lot of us becoming like that. And securing a worthy successor to the Kyoto Protocol is our best chance of bringing emissions under control and of keeping global temperatures within 2 degrees of pre-industrial levels. And of course we're realistic about the prospects for the conference this year. The political conditions and the complexity of the task ahead mean that a final deal will not come this year. But we can make real progress, putting in place the foundations for a future deal. From forests to finance, we can agree a package of measures that would send a clear signal to governments, investors, and populations around the world that the low-carbon transition is affordable, achievable, and beneficial. And in so doing, we can restate our commitment to the UN process and to its ultimate aim. And while we push for a binding global deal on the world stage, we have to persuade people at home as well. In Europe, where we can and should secure a more ambitious emissions reduction target and lead the way on green product standards. And in the UK, where we must increase drastically our share of renewable energy, clean up our supply of energy, get serious about energy saving, boost our low-carbon sector, and encourage innovation in green technology, and capitalise, of course, on our scientific and engineering expertise. The government will do its part. We are committed to the international negotiations. We're arguing the case for ambition in Europe, and we're making progress there. And despite a challenging financial climate, we are determined to oversee the transition to a low-carbon economy, one where clean, green growth guides us towards a sustainable future. And that commitment has been matched increasingly by businesses, charities, and public sector organisations across the country. From multinationals with climate risk portfolios that span the globe to community recycling initiatives run by volunteers, the take-up of the green agenda has been startling. 25 years ago, corporate social responsibility policies, carbon footprint publishing, and emissions reporting would seem the most unlikely dreams. Thanks to years of hard work and dedication, they are now commonplace. Our businesses, NGOs, and civil society are world leaders when it comes to promoting action on climate change. And our challenge is to translate that expertise into the public realm. Britain has a long history of science and of scientific celebrity, and perhaps we can harness the power of recognition in favour of this truly worthy cause. We need a more engaging, more genuine dialogue. We need to remind people that although consensus is not certainty, the scientific consensus on climate change is overwhelming, and its critics are marginal. We need to show through our actions that the probability of the risks are simply too great to ignore. And we have to be smarter in our communications. A good campaign can not only change the public mood or bring welcome attention to an unfashionable cause, it can fire the imagination of the next generation of scientists, researchers, engineers, broadcasters, and, dare I say it, even politicians. And that's why the Green Awards are so important. They showcase the power of the creative mind to inspire businesses, communities, and individuals to move towards a more sustainable future. From advertising to packaging, from mobile phones to mixed media, the organisations shortlisted tonight have made real contributions to the cause. In your creativity, commitment, and dynamism, you represent the very best of green thinking, and, even more important, of green doing. And I want to congratulate all of the entrants, the shortlisted candidates, and of course tonight's winners. Thank you very much.